And so what we learned today is that the two organizations who spoke, well, they're calling for changes to happen, and they're calling for the city to make those changes. Now, part of that is what we saw today. We saw different things happening. So there are calls from the Toronto Underhoused and Homelessness Unit and the Shelter and Housing Justice Unit. Their calls were to conduct a full accessibility audit by March 1st on all city-run shelter services, with accessibility defined to include usability for wheelchair users and people with disabilities, but plans for improvement as indicated. Now, their other call was to immediately replace the 1,000 shelter and respite spaces closed, they say, that have been closed since last winter by November 1st, ensure spaces are accessible and usable for physically disabled people with surge capacity for extreme weather conditions. And they also are asking to convene on an intergovernmental task force to coordinate an effective response by November 1st in collaboration with people with lived experience to ensure that the first two demands are met and to build social housing rapidly to address the housing emergency. Now, when it comes to the housing emergency, this press conference did come at the same time that the city is looking to clear an encampment in Toronto's Dufferin Grove Park. Residents there being told just today as well, getting that notification. Tensions were high between the group and municipal staff this week after the city served an encampment residents with trespassing notices, asking them to leave. Now, this very much comes under the conversation of the shelter system. Are there enough beds for people in need, and where can people go when they are asked to leave these encampments? Now, here is what a few people had to say at today's announcement about the shelter system and the advocacy groups.
Right now, what I'm concerned about is the thousands, well over 1,000 people outside. We know even just today that the city is busy trying to clear people from Dufferin Grove Park with security. Meanwhile, as I said, according to city stats, 120 people, 119.8 to be exact, according to city stats, are being told that there's no beds available. We have winter fast approaching. We're going to have a kind of a month of cold rain. It's just absolutely miserable being outside right now.
Shelter is meant to provide safety, dignity, but for many people with disability, they create another layer of exclusion. Toronto has a chance to do better. We must call on the city to administer a fully accessibility audit of the shelter system to ensure dignity for all.
And part of that dignity that these advocates are also calling for, they know that winter is not far away. So what they want to see happen is small changes made in the meantime. That means automatic doors put into different shelter systems, getting rid of the bunk beds, making sure that the sidewalks are shoveled when it snows, because this is Canada after all. So there's some small steps that they say they hope to make. They also want to see changes on the city's website, so individuals who need to access a shelter know which shelters to go to if they do have accessibility, different accessible things for them to be able to live there and to have more support.